Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I've got a bit of Boulder Opal here and I want to discuss a topic that has been raised by a few people in the comments since my recent video on Boulder Opal. It was actually by email a few people reached out and one person through Facebook. And I always say the viewers are much smarter than me because you have way more brain power just being fully outnumbered. And one particular person pointed out that even though I love Boulder Opal, I have never shown you how we get to this stage. So how it is, if you find a seam deep in a stone and you want to just crack it open like this, how you actually do that. Because yes, you are right, it is much quicker than trying to slice or carve all the way down to a face and then peel off all the ironstone and reveal what's underneath, which is what I did in the most recent video. So I've picked two good stones here, but I've also got this split here to show you how it's done. Now first off, we'll just have a look at these two stones because they've been done in two different ways. If you look very carefully at this stone, can you see these cutting saw marks just in here? So essentially I don't have the other half of this split, but this saw was just put in a couple of mils into the seam, so you would have been able to see this opal bar right along here. All they've done is run a blade across there until it's gone a little way in, and then from here all you need to do is get yourself anything, any thin metal object. A screwdriver is often commonly used. Just get it in there and just pop it. Even if you've got a thick enough saw blade like this, you can actually get it in there, and where the two faces of opal actually meet, it is super brittle. That's why you get this really glossy. This hasn't been polished. This is exactly what it comes out as after you do that split. It just splits just like glass straight across there. You just wedge in your little piece of metal and you just bam, leverage it and it'll just pop right along the bar sometimes, not always. The thicker the bar, the easier it is to get to pop along it. The other option is demonstrated by this piece. So if we have a look here, you can see there's a huge cut shelf right there. There's another one, fairly big, right here. So it's been cut from the top and from the bottom. So where you see that bar, they've cut quite a long way in, top and bottom. And then the way I like to do this, there's plenty of different ways to do it, but if you've just got a clamp like this, I've got a macro lens, so it's a little bit of a zoom in, but it is just a standard little D clamp, G clamp, whatever you want to call it. And all you do is you just wedge it in with a little bit of something that's a bit tapered on the ends of these. You can do so many different ways, and all you want to do is just slowly just crank down on this until it pinches. The two little bits of metal at each end just squeeze together and eventually it just pops. And you'll end up getting this and the matching piece on the other side. A lot of people also do that with just something like a hand press or a bench vise. You really don't need that much pressure though. That's why I've just gotten away with using a small clamp. You really don't need much pressure. Sometimes if you just get two screwdrivers and put them in there like this and just push, and the screwdriver tips are really tapered, you just push along there and that will also just pop it off. A lot of the time you don't need a huge amount of force, because opal is fairly delicate. And in both of these cases you can see we're not attacking the ironstone, we're not trying to get the ironstone to split off the face or anything like that. This ironstone is pretty tough. It's also fairly spongy and muddy, so it's not overly brittle, and it's the brittleness of this that allows us to just get that pop. So if I switch over to this one, you can see it's already been done, but here, right along that top edge, you can see where that saw's just crept in. Someone saw this little color bar in here that goes around, tiny little seam, and they've decided, well, there's a bigger part of it, they've decided just to cut alongside it here and then just wedge in there and just bam, crack, pops open, and not a lot in this split. Having said that, there probably is a little bit more underneath. It doesn't always just follow the opal, but in this case the opal is pretty minimal. If anything, it probably dives down to here, and there's probably a better face on this kind of angle from there across to this opal over here. Like I said, the better the seam, the better the effect. You can get some really good pops, and I'm sure people have videos on Facebook. I've seen a few good ones. If there's a lot of opal there, you can really get it to crack along the surface. But even if you get close like this, I'm going to be playing around with this one and trying to carve away some of this and try to hit some of these down over here. You never know, you just need such a thin seam from the edge to just reveal a great bit of opal. I reckon this part here is definitely a stone, and then of course you've got the section over here where it's got a pretty decent stone over there as well. Now unfortunately for a lot of you guys, it's going to be really hard for you to get anything that is kind of worth really splitting like this though. Just think of it from a miner's perspective. If you've got a nice stone with this really obvious nice seam in it, it takes 10 seconds to just slice a little bit in there and then just grab a screwdriver, pop that open, and just check it. No good, sell it on. Now the only reason I've been able to do it in the past a lot of the time is because I've got partnerships with people where I can start playing around with this kind of material. If I get a really good split, I'll even just send the stone back to the person that mined it, or we can just negotiate a better price for it. Typically though, that's going to be really hard for you to do when you're an unknown buyer working with someone that has no idea who you are, and on the internet everything seems like a scam these days, so you've got to be really careful. A lot of the time you're just going to be able to buy splits, which is something like this. You can get much better ones than this for sure, but a lot of the time you are going to buy it and it is already going to be split, which is completely understandable. It's not some kind of con or anything like that. If you're the person digging this out of the ground, you've got to take that couple seconds just to pop them open and have a look. You're not just going to completely rob yourself. So I'll see if I can get some more fresh material or just dig through the material I've got to find some that are worth splitting. I'm sure I've still got some good stuff there somewhere. And in the future, I can show you my clamp method or just popping it open with the screwdriver, but just explaining it, it is pretty obvious. You just might not have noticed in the past a lot of your Boulder Opal stones having these little cuts, or even on a piece like this, you might just not have noticed those saw marks on one edge. But now that I've shown you what it is, you'll have a look at all your Boulder Opal and you probably will see little cuts out of somewhere. I mean, if the person's really nice, they've done this, they've done the split, and then they've just cut off those little ends over here, just like this stone here. You could easily just trim those back and then you've just got that stone. Helps remove a lot of material. Even this one, there might be another stone in there. So I'll have a quick rummage and see if I can find something so I can do some live demos. Maybe we can literally do them live, because that would be pretty exciting. If I could get buckets of yaourt nuts or something, that'd be a really good time. But it's the same with any of these boulder splits. It is super exciting. A lot of the time you get absolutely nothing out of it, but sometimes you get really nice stones. This one's not too bad. In fact, I might as well finish the video here, and who knows, you might find that I have worked this stone to try to reduce some of this podginess, because I reckon this could be a pretty good stone. And I very rarely cut square stones, but this might be a big square pendant. So stay tuned and you might see it back on the channel. Good luck with the cutting and polishing. Subscribe away and you might see me do some splits, and you'll definitely see me work on this piece of boulder. Stay safe, have fun, catch you in the next one.